So for step 19, attaching the front upper arms. Well, this is very similar to what we did with the rear. We've got these ball pieces that have to go into the arms themselves, and then we've got these screws that have to go in. The only difference is before it was almost even on either side. Well, this, they're only wanting it showing a millimeter at the top, and most of it is hanging down. Then, of course, we're going to attach it, grease it, and then put this piece on to hold them in place with one screw. So there are all of the pieces that we need for this, and of course our hardware. So I'll set this up and let's put this together. So first off, let's work on these arms, and we'll do this side first. Now what I want to do right off the bat is just pop these things in so that they're in and I don't have to worry about them anymore. So I'm going to actually pop them into both sides first, just so that I don't have a chance of losing them. They'll just be in. And there we go. So let's do this side first. So you can see that we've got this long section. I guess you can see the mark there. So this is going to fit into that top. Now what I will do is I'm going to use an Allen key here. And knowing that that's the way it's got to be, we need to get this into there. And I'm going to make sure that it's going in level, which it mostly is, but I think we're going to have to turn it just a bit here. You just want to make sure that you get it started correctly. I know it's got to go through to the other side. And you don't want to turn this and find you're out of alignment right off the bat, because you'll strip stuff out anyway. But that feels right. So you look at that. It's kind of needs to be moved just ever so slightly. I'm sure it could correct itself a little bit, but I want to make sure that it's going in as level as it can. Now this feels smoother now as you're turning it because it's into the hole properly. Okay, and you can see that it's coming out on the other side. So you can also see that it's really only 1 millimeter out, which means we can pretty much eyeball the 1 millimeter. So you can see there, and that is going to need to be just turned ever so slightly a bit more for that 1 millimeter. So ultimately it's going to look something like that. And you can check. I mean, I'm going to check anyway, but I pretty much have eyeballed it enough to my mind. But if you look at, if we keep this level, that pretty much is 1 millimeter up from the base of the arm. So I'm good with that. So I'll just end up matching that with the other side. So again, if we grab this one, now it's the other way where we've got this facing this way. So we need this way. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to start it. And that looks, see how it's not quite right? It's off in one direction. Not the band, but they have nothing to do with this. So there we go. So that works. So I'm just going to turn this Yeah, we're almost out. And if I was to match this up visually so we can see, let's turn it around. How about? It's pretty identical, really. Let's get my finger out of the way, but it's pretty much at the same spot. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to leave it at that. So those two parts are finished. So now what we're left with is this next bit where we're going to grease up the arms and on both sides before sliding this on and locking it together. So I'm just going to grab the grease and we'll put that together. So if we grab the chassis, now we know that these are the two parts. So we know that that is going in that way, that's going in that way. So let's grease up the arms. There we go. And again, making sure that that is correct. We've got this side going in that way. So that's going to fit into there, just like that. Then this side, same again. Let's grease this up. And you don't have to put too much on here. I just want to make sure that the whole thing is covered. And again, that is facing towards the back of the car. So that's just going to fit on just like that. And then we're going to grab the A5 piece. You can see that in terms of the positioning, you see how there's these two bits that stick out on either side. These ones right here, that's matching that. So we know that that's got to go on that way. So you're going to want to make sure that these go into the holes. There we go. And we'll grab our screw. That's going to go into the center right here. And we'll screw this in place. And again, we're going from hard plastic to hard plastic for this. So you can just screw that right in and take it all the way. There we go. So those arms are now in place and it feels pretty smooth. So excellent. And you can see there's a little bit of play back and forth. That's okay. So there we go. There are the front upper arms. So now we're going to move on to step 20 and work on the front lower arms.